Hey y'all, so sometimes I sit down at night and I tend to pick up my own book sometime to try to remind myself why I wrote it. And so I've been down with COVID for over the last week, and I'm not gonna say down with it. I feel like I went through the process. It could have been worse, so I'm grateful that it wasn't as bad as it could have been. But it gives you a lot of time to kind of process, think about stuff. And I remember when I wrote this book, Our Body's Thirst for Gratitude, Love, and Freedom. And it was one of those books where it's like, wait a minute, what in the heck am I talking about? I remember like writing and saying like, I don't know where I'm going, what direction I'm going, what the heck do I want to really say? And so I really had to go back and think about the last book I had wrote. It's a losing battle, but I won. And just think about some of the battles, some of the challenges, some of the things that I had been through. And one thing I remember that kept hitting me as I thought about this was I felt like I was to blame for a lot of the things that I had gone through. Instead of looking at it and finding the gratitude in it or finding the good in it, I was just really just blaming myself and really personalizing everything that had happened in a way that wasn't healthy. Almost to the point where I made myself feel like I wasn't worthy of more. So a lot of situations that I put myself in was not good situations. I would even, befriend people that I knew weren't, and get in relationships that I knew weren't, right for me. So I was like, you know what? Let's really go in and dive in and think about what's really going on. Is it about my self-worth? Is it about me not feeling like I deserve? What is it really that was going on? And so I remembered one thing I always can think back to and remember blaming myself for was a poor marriage that I had gone through. And I feel weird talking about it a lot of times, but then I had to tell myself, don't feel weird. This is for somebody else. You went through that for somebody else. And the more I tell myself that you went through the pain, you went through all of those things, and it wasn't really about you, it was for somebody else, the more I began to find grace in it, the more I began to see some positivity in the situation. So, and I tell you, it's hard to really look at stuff like that and find positive. I can remember one time, and I wrote about this in my last book. Not this one I'm talking about here, but the one, It's a Losing Battle, but I Won. I wrote about being pregnant and remembering a fight where my ex-husband literally, had a moment. And I can remember being pregnant. I may have been like 3 or 4 months pregnant. And I don't really know what happened that made it went from like a situation where we were having a good time to all of a sudden it wasn't a good time. And you just don't understand why it went left. But I can remember him getting so angry that he kind of, mushed me upside my head and, kind of just, how I always remember when kids are little, you kind of sling them around a little bit. They like to swing around. And, but in this situation, I was slung into like this pickup truck and there were gravel rocks on the ground. But what I remember is that I don't remember being in pain. I don't remember feeling the rocks. I don't remember a lot of it. So then later on, I remember saying, I'm not going to go back there. I'm not going to go back there. And I did. And so I blamed myself for always, and I'm not going to say always, I left eventually, but I did blame myself for, well, maybe I did something to trigger him, or maybe I wasn't patient enough, because I always beat myself up about not being patient enough, or it just had to be me. It had to be something wrong with me. I couldn't I struggled with that. And so I realized that the reason why I wrote this book was because I had to find gratitude. I had to find love, and I had to be free from those things that I had experienced. I had to figure out how to set it free and use what I had gone through to help other people. And, it's hard. It's not hard because you don't want to help people, but it's hard sometimes to not blame yourself when you really don't think you deserve better. It's hard to accept that, yeah, I deserve better. I'm okay. It's hard to look in the mirror sometimes when you have felt like you didn't look good enough, or you felt like you weren't good enough, or you felt like you didn't have it all. But then when you realize you feel like you don't have it all, but finally it hit you and you be like, dang, I done had it all along. I had everything and didn't know I had it, but it was all within me, And so I was like, you know what? I realized when I wrote this book, I put it out. I didn't even promote it like I promoted my last one. And my last one had all the pain in it, just everything. All the blame, all the hurt, all the pain, but not enough of the gratitude, the love, how I became or how I feel free, how I accepted it, how I learned to say thank you to myself, how I learned to say I had to forgive myself. And I think that, that was another thing too. Once I blamed myself and then put myself down so much, I then had to forgive myself. Like, that's so much work. That's so much work that we have to do, and we don't even realize it. Like, we're going through this. You've gone through this pain, but not realizing that the pain was happening to you only for you later to use it to help other people. Only for you to later find out that you had so much power that you didn't even realize you had, and you didn't even know your worth then. You didn't even know you deserved more. That's why you kept allowing it. You stayed. Or you kept blaming yourself for being hurt, being pain, whatever. But one thing I had to learn, y'all, was everything that happens to us ain't for us. I know that sounds crazy, but it ain't always for us. Some of this stuff is for us to go through so we can understand what somebody else is going through, so that we can motivate other people, so we can inspire other people, so we can be there as a support system for other people and help folks. It's not always about us. And it's so hard because you're the one going through it, right? It's so hard to say, you know what, this ain't about me. I deserve more. They deserve more. It's hard, man. So, I don't know. I just realized, you know what? Now I know why I wrote my book. Now I know why I wrote it. Because I had to find gratitude in what I had gone through. I had to find love in what I had gone through. And I had to become free from it. I had to become free from it. And the only way that you can truly come outside of yourself and help somebody else is to truly find peace in what you've gone through. You got to find yourself. Then you have to find yourself, separate yourself from those things that you've gone through and say, yeah, that happened to me, but look at how great I am now. Yeah, I may have been beat, but I'm not broke. I may have experienced pain, but I'm not hurt no more. You have to really look at that thing and say, I may have been there then, but I'm here now. And use that then to help other people get out of their situations that they're in and motivate them and help them understand that they deserve more now. They have to know their worth. So, anyways, like I said, I've been sitting here, I had a lot of time, and I just realized, this book was worth it. I wrote it for a reason. And if you hadn't gotten it yet, it's on Amazon. I have some copies here. But, you know, aside from that, I don't know who is on here watching this video that may be going through something, and you think that this is the last situation you'll have. You think you'll never get out of it. You will. You will get out of it. This moment is just this moment. You still have power within you. You still have strength within you. You still deserve. You deserve more. You are worthy. But you got to realize it yourself.